Star Wars Unlimited enthusiasts, welcome to round 1 of June 4th's Star Wars Unlimited Locals Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Unlimited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry. And for today, I have something special for you all, some Eternal gameplay. So one of our local players, specifically this local player, wanted us to play some Eternal gameplay. Eternal, of course, is the secondary format, I guess now the 4th format you can play with Star Wars Unlimited. You have Premiere, Twin Suns, Eternal, and I guess maybe 5th because of Sealed. Trilogy, and then you have sealed being draft or sealed format. Sealed is just sealed in my opinion, but nonetheless they wanted to play some Eternal, which of course Eternal means that you play with all sets legal with their own ban list. Right now Eternal ban list I believe is IG-2000 is banned, and so is War Juggernaut, to bring the level of power of Jango Fett down. Now we did have a very big caveat. We did not allow any major heavy winning decks from the Eternal format right now, as well as what was good before the rotation era. So you're not going to see any Boba, JTLs, or Jangos, or anything like that. So you're just going to see some very interesting decks. And one of the decks that kind of ran around, two people brought, was Boba Law Yellow, which we have, of course, here, going against my Hera Spark Data Vault. So essence, I'm playing Hera mainly because I really like what the Spectres can do out of Law, and it just makes it so much better to be able to use the Spectre secondary effects of when you control a unit with that whatever their effect is, their corresponding color. A lot easier when Hera can ignore the aspect penalties on all Spectre units. She flips on 6 for 4/6, and then has on attack you may give an experience token to another unique unit. So she's a little different than Hera from Law. Personally, she's a little better from Hera from Law, depending on what your stance is on Hera leaders. Boba Law is all about the one and only bounty hunters. When a bounty hunter defeats a enemy unit by battle, does not matter if the bounty hunter survives or not, you may tap it to create a credit token. So we are expanding out beyond JTL, LOF, Secrets of Power, and then Law, and grabbing more of the really good bounty hunters from, of course, Spark of Rebellion, for instance. Shadows of the Galaxy, when we had Forlom and Zuckuss. We had really good bounty hunters coming out before the rotation era. So this is actually a really good deck. It was one of those decks I really did think had some okay bones going into Eternal if you wanted to have some fun with it, because you actually had a really good amount of really good yellow bounty hunters that you had access to and all that. And like I said, my deck is just Spectres with a few odd cards mixed in, and because I'm in double green, I do have command in here as well to basically ramp, but that's about it. Nonetheless, guys, let's see the gameplay and see who is going to take game number 1. Here we go, folks. We've all set up for game number 1. Boba set. It's going to go first. We're going to do a follower of the way, a follower of the code, and then I'm going to go for a Sabine here, and then I'm going to pass. The one big problem here is that there are so many bounty hunters in Boba is that it's very successful for them to punch in. Now, maybe if I was playing a space deck, that would be a little different, as we have the Tagger. Tagger is going to target the code, and then the code is going to be able to kill the Sabine here, taking 2 damage. Then we're going to tag the Boba Fett there, resting it to create a credit token here. Anyways, we're going to go for the Spark of Rebellion to look at the hand there. Ooh, double Zuckuss and the Forlom. Forlom is probably the most dangerous here. Again, Forlom also is one of those weird cards here where it's yeah, it does get the buff from both of the Zuckuss, where it can give both Zuckuss, I believe, ambush, because the Zuckasses give Forlom Saboteur. So anyways, we're going to have Tagger to kill off the chopper there, and then we're going to credit token. Probably not the best play there to have put out a chopper, a 1/2 body. And then we're going to go for command to basically I can resource it and then grab a guy back. That's about it. The other 2 is that you can defeat a non-unique unit that with one of your guys with power on it, as well as you can Lastly, you can give one of your guys 2 experience tokens, as we're going to just burn a credit token to put out a 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄. We're kind of seeing now that Boba Fett is now massing out, of course, the bounty hunters. The best way that I kind of think to counteract this deck, funny enough, is that there aren't good bounty hunters in space, hilariously enough. So you can actually play a space strategy in Eternal and basically punish this deck strategy, because there are horrible units for space. So anyways, we're just going to go for a 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 to immediately use his small effect to hit for 3 to kill off the target tagger. Did not have a, I believe, green or yellow to be able to use 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄's secondary effect here. Then we're going to go for the Boba Fett. Boba Fett is going to use these effect here, using the extra credit token to ping 𝐒𝐓 for 1, ping 𝐒𝐓 for 3 here, and then we're going to just have the code kill 𝐒𝐓. Then we're going to tap to get another credit token. I did flip Hera, probably not the best idea to me, be able to hit the base for 4 and then immediately be dying to a 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄, as well as because then the Boba Fett also is also then able to flip here because of 5, because they were just a little concerned of whether or not they were actually at 5, and I said yeah, because I used command to ramp here. We're just going to have the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 kill off, and then we're going to create another credit token. Then we're going to go for a bid for Tuna. That think is on play. You could do something with Underworlds, but they decide not to go for the trigger there. Yeah, I'm pretty much dead here, folks. There's no kidding or going around that one. I'm just straight up dead in this matchup right now, because I do not have a way to deal with it. While I do have 33 health, that's not going to really help me in any capacity against all of this. Again, it is nice that I still ignore all my Spectres aspect penalties on the front and back side of Hera. So anyways, we're going to go for command to get back the 𝐒𝐓, and then I'm going to put command in as a resource. Then we're going to have the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 swing in for 6 here, and then putting me up to 12. And then I'm going to put out another Sabine. Again, it's kind of not really impactful here. The problem is I'm putting out units for Boba Fett to basically go and kill, and then being able to trigger to gain his effect here. Is we're just going to go for the old Boba Fett being able to swing in using his effect to kill off Sabine, doing the 3, and then we're going to have the Boba Fett from the Law leader attack in, and then we're going to put out the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄s from this set, the Law set, and then a code, and then I'm just going to scoop that one up because I just can't deal with the board presence that has been amassed. So with that said, we're going to go into game number 2. Here we go, folks. Game number 2. Let's start off with a chopper. This time a little better. It's starting off with a chopper. We're going to go for Bazine. Look at the hand here. Again, they are allowed to pitch 1 card out of my hand. If they do so, I do get to draw 1. They don't have to pitch anything. So anyways, the 𝐒𝐓's going to get pitched out here, and I'm going to draw 1, and then that is going to be a pass there from there. So it's nice that this time I have the chopper set up, which is pretty nice. Now, the Bazine does not have the Underworld tag, but does not have the bounty hunter tag, so it can't like kill chopper and then get a free credit token. So anyways, we're going to immediately be able to go for and now there are 2 of them to immediately be able to kill the chopper, because we do have an underworld unit, and again 𝐿 has underworld unit, reducing its play cost there. And then we're going to tap the Boba to gain a credit token, because we did kill off the chopper there. But I do have the Sabine's Masterpiece, and like I said, the weird part about Boba Law is that if you can get your space deck, if you can get space going where your opponent doesn't have a way to deal with it, for some weird reason, bounty hunters do not have a strong space presence at all. I'm surprised. I mean, I would have thought by now we'd have space units for that. So anyways, my opponent does point out that command requires it not to be destroyed on non-unique units, so I'm just going to resource it and then give 2 experience tokens to Sabine Masterpiece to hit my opponent for 5, and then my opponent's going to hit me for the 𝐿 for 5, and then I'm going to take 1 more from the Bazine, and then I'm going to go for a code, and then I'm going to go for a Black Sun Patroller. While Black Sun Patroller does have the Underworld tag, it does not have the Bounty Hunter tag. So again, yeah, like I said, I don't know even if we have a Bounty Hunter in space. I know we have the Miss Hunter, but I think Miss Hunter is more on the effect of dealing with if you play a Bounty Hunter, you get to draw a card, or Bounty Hunter or Bounty Hunter Pilot, you get to draw a card. Not exactly the greatest thing in the world here. So we're going to have the Follower of the Code. Is going to do 2 damage to Hera, and then of course restore 1 there, because it does have the nice restore there. I'm just kind of figuring out what I want to do here going next into the play, of what next because I do have the Forlom. Forlom can technically kill me off here completely. We're going to go for Haymaker. Haymaker to get an experience token to Hera and then kill off the Forlom just so I don't have to deal with that. And then we're going to go for the Contracted Jump Master because, again, now that it does have Sentinel here, I'm just kind of figuring out what to do. So we're going to go for the Hera first so I can give another experience token to Sabine's Masterpiece. And then we're going to be able to buff up that Masterpiece just a little bit more. We're going to ping 2 damage into the of course, the Masterpiece here from the Black Sun Patroller here. I'm just kind of deciding on what I want to do here because we do have the Contracted Jump Master to deal with it being a 2/4, and then I swing in. I take 2 more damage from the Jump Master. I do gain an experience token because I do have out a green unit. So anyways, I'm going to just take the 4 and I'm going to pump my, I'm going to put out an experience token, whether I can put it on the Sabine's Masterpiece or put it on to Hera. So I'm just going to put it on the Masterpiece just to continue to buff it up there and then basically give it back to my opponent for whatever they want to do. Again, the Hera is now a 5/7 as well with 2 damage. It looks like our opponent is just going to take the initiative there and then pass on that one. So I'm just kind of figuring out what we want to do here. Again, I do have some options in my hand, not a lot of options, as I have my Figure of Unity. Originally, I forget what I was running originally in this deck. What it was in Figure of Unity. I did swap it out to Figure of Unity for differences. We're going to go for Cad Bane. He's going to take my Masterpiece. Business. Anyways, I'm going to go for Figure of Unity to pump up the Hera even more. And again, while Hera is standing, all my units gain Saboteur and Raid, if I recall how Figure of Unity works. But again, it can only attach to a unique unit, and that, unique unit. That unique unit has to be standing per normal. So anyways, I'm going to go for Ezra to heal off 2 damage from Hera, because I do not have the ability to heal for the full. Uses bottom area effect, because I believe it has to be red-yellow. It has to be on the battlefield, and then we had the Black Sun Patroller swinging in, and then I'm going to go for Hera to give an experience token over to Ezra, because again, on attack, I can give an experience token to another unique unit. Anyways, we're going to go swing Boba Fett into, looks like, into the Ezra there, and then I'm going to just claim the initiative from that one, and then we're going to be able to move on. I do have a Fire from Across from the Galaxy, but it's not really going to help us. The only on-play, win-play trigger for my Spectres is just the Ezra, so I could use Fire Across the Galaxy. I think I was only running 2 of it. It's mostly for all the Spectres from Law, so you can re-trigger all their win-play skills, but it's not the best overall. So anyways, we're going to go for Zeb to immediately be able to kill off the Boba leader there, removing it off the battlefield and allowing me to have a Sentinel on the ground there, and then my opponent is going to scoop that one up. And I showcase I have Fire Across the Galaxy, which in this case I have 3 standing resources still up, if I recall correctly, if I have it necessary, so I can go Fire Across the Galaxy again. This will give me the big Ezra effect as well as the Zeb effect yet again, depending on what my opponent did. So if they swung with the Black Sun Patroller first, then I can go Fire Across the Galaxy, heal up the Hera, and then put 5 damage onto the Cad Bane there. And then I could trigger Hera to give him an experience token to Ezra. So yeah, that game went to me. Let's move into that all-important game number 3. Welcome everybody to game number 3. My opponent's going to start off with a good old Aura, and then I'm going to start off with a Chopper, which I think I joke about it, that it's probably not what I should have done. Honestly, going into this with everybody being able to kill Chopper with complete ease, unless it's a Bazine or anything like that. Yeah, I probably should have just taken initiative and just skipped out on playing anybody and given my opponent the free credit token there, because I think that's honestly what's going to always hurt me, is that free credit token. You know, what's also going to hurt me is that my opponent also saying now there are 2 of them, which again definitely hurts 100%. As a reminder, remember, you have to have only 1 unit on your board state, and then you can play a unit with a reduced cost, I believe, of 3 or 4 or less. It has to be 4 because of Forlom. 4 or less, and has to share an aspect with the guy you already have on the battlefield here. So I'm just going to claim there because I don't really have anything to do. Again, I'm just out here. We're going to go for Backed by the Huts to get another credit token. Then you could do 2 damage to an object that did have 2 credit tokens attached to it. But unfortunately, that's going to have to pass there. I also missed my command, so nothing else I could do there. I did have the tech in there I could have brought out, but again, it's not great running right into a battlefield that could technically kill him and then gain a credit token. My opponent was just taking back 1 of their resources. I was perfectly fine with it. There's nothing really to concern myself with going for that. Anyways, we're going to go for the Zeb to immediately be able to get rid of the Forlom there, dealing with that body 100%. here, and then we're going to be able to, of course, flip the Boba here, and I'm going to have to claim the initiative because my leader flips on 6, not on 5. Again, I've had a little bit of fun with this Hera. I think I definitely need to do some more tuning of this Hera if I definitely want to continue to play it, but I had to have some fun with it. Mostly, I think my tuning would be to maybe cut more of the law guys, maybe cut a little bit of the law guys out, and a little bit more, change up some differences in how that is, and maybe change not being double green. I think that may be a thing here, as my opponent is, of course, deciding on what they want to do here with, of course, the 𝐒𝐍𝐉. Because again, the aura can't kill the 𝐒𝐍𝐉. The Boba can kill it and then trigger, of course, his effect to gain a credit token here, being able to, of course, play out a bigger guy, almost 4/7, almost 8 cost out for the turn here. So my opponent, I just didn't think I claimed there. I did claim for the initiative here. They are going to go for a play of 7. They're going to go for Carbine, and then be able to take my 𝐒𝐍𝐉 there, clearing out the board state. Then we're going to swing in for 7 damage overall onto my base here, and I'm just basically, because I couldn't get a setup, this is kind of how you saw game 1 go, is that because I couldn't set up a board, I'm basically getting punished for not being able to set up a board or anything. And so that's pretty much just what I'm getting punished by, is the fact I'm just can't get a board going, and I just didn't stabilize anything to help me here. So we're just going to have an attack here from the 𝐒𝐎𝐿 into, of course, the base here. Then we're going to go for the ghost itself, and then I'm going to give it Hera experience and a shield token. If I had a red or blue, I could also give the ghost itself an experience and a shield token here as well. So anyways, then I'm going to swing Hera at the base there. I do have the ability to, of course, give a unique unit an experience token here. So I'm just kind of deciding on what I'm going to do. I'm going to swing and kill off the 𝐒𝐿 here, and then basically Cad Bane's going to swing in for 7, and then I am going to choose to rescue. That does mean my opponent does draw 2 cards. Because again, I do get the choice of rescue, and if I don't rescue, my opponent doesn't get any draws, but if I do, my opponent does get draws. We're going to go for sneak attack in 𝐒𝐍𝐾𝐄, and 𝐒𝐍𝐾𝐄 is going to be able to get is going to be able to get is going to be able to attack there because it does come in standing, so it's able to attack and then basically win the game from there, because there's nothing much I could do anyways. Even if this kills itself, there's just nothing I could do for it, because this is Saboteur, so this is 6 coming right at my base. So with that said, folks, I was unfortunately not able to get the win. I believe this Hera only got me, I believe I lasted in last place with this Hera, but again, I think I need to do some more fine tuning with it and all of that. But still, she's a fun leader. I wanted to try her out just because well, in Eternal, I get all the Spectres, and I can use the Hera leader to ignore the aspect penalties on the new Law Spectres as well. So just wanted to give it another try. I've already tried it one time. It did okay, so decided I'm going to give it another shot, see how well it does. Unfortunately, it just didn't do so hot for me throughout this night. I believe I came in last, or I got only 1 win with her. I know I went to 2 game 3s against 2 different versions of Boba Law Yellow. But nonetheless, guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the gameplay and on the decks, as well as the Eternal format if you guys have tried it out. And while you guys are commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you're notified when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mom Dragons TCG.